That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Comic Reviews. I'm Sid Part 2, and I have a special episode today because it's not a Wednesday, but it's a Saturday. It's the first Saturday in May, which is, of course, Free Comic Book Day. So I'm here to talk about some free comics that I got and some other stuff because it's Free Comic Book Day. So you go spend money. Right? Anyway. So we got a fair number of books to talk about. I actually am not going to be talking about one because I realized it's something I'd already read, which is, as always, the biggest problem with this kind of thing. Where, yeah, it's a great idea to have Free Comic Book Day. What do the companies put out? Promotions for their events. Killing me, Smalls. And that just it just takes the life out of it. It takes a lot of the fun out of them, and that's always a problem. So won't be talking about one of the books I picked up, which is disappointing. A couple of things I picked up are just promotional stuff, but it just works better. I don't mind if you want to promote your other stuff, that's fine, but you should be more aware of what you're doing and pick something that's appropriate for that. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with Doctor Who. This was honestly the best Free Comic Book Day book I got. Not because it's like a fantastic story or anything, but it's an actual story, single issue, that gets you at least some level of intrigued about all the other stuff that's going on with this. I should mention, I just dropped the Doctor Who 10th Doctor book because I wasn't enjoying it that much. I can't say that this made me regret that decision by any means, but this is what it's written like when it was written well, or at least somewhat well. Who's writing this? Maybe at the end. Writer Alex Paknadel. So that's cool. So anyways, this does an interesting thing that I don't mind doing with the multiple doctor idea, is opposed to putting them all together. It takes like one thing and has them all deal with the same problem at different points in time, because they're time travelers, so you can do that. Scoot in closer there. So the first story, and the one that kind of connects everything together, is the 12th Doctor dealing with these aliens who kind of declared war on each other and all this stuff. That's bizarre. Who declared war on each other and are just in utter chaos, and he has to run to a temple and enter with a secret password, which is doing the YMCA. There's your panel right there. That's best panel in the book. The Doctor doing the YMCA to get to a secret room, and he gets a thing and is able to convince the alien races to stop warring by telling them like a myth. And he gets back home to the TARDIS safe. And so his companion's like, okay, that's great, but what's like the real story? What actually happened? And so we go back to Eccleston, the 9th Doctor, who was friends with the original alien that started this race and was like a monk, and he had to come tell him about how, I'm sorry, but your world was destroyed. Unfortunately, the art shifts when we go to Eccleston and the other Doctors, and it's hideous. Like, it's hilariously hideous compared to the other artwork, because they actually overlay some of the 12th Doctor artwork with the past Doctor artwork, and it looks like a professional artist versus like a middle schooler. Like, look at that face of Capaldi right there. That looks really great. And then like the face of the 9th Doctor here, really flat, really weird proportions, but it gets worse, guys. This panel. Look at how hideous and misshapen his head looks in this. What the hell are they doing? They did a really bad job on that. Like this feels like a bit of a rush job, which is unfortunate. So anyway, they and like again they go to the 10th Doctor and all this stuff. But anyway, his friend is now the only survivor of his race on an alien world that's uninhabited. And so his plan to continue his race is to make all these slightly different clones of himself. And because of that, they're like too friendly to each other, and they all know that they're clones of each other, or of the same being. So they're too friendly, they're too nice to each other, they're too forgiving, and so they're not progressing, nothing's happening, no one's challenging one another's ideas. So the Doctor, in his 10th incarnation, has to go through and try to muddle with things just a bit so that they will be willing to disagree with each other. Problem is, once we get to the 11th Doctor, that completely backfires. Now they declare war on each other and have slipped into barbarism. So he has to uncover his old friend, and there's like this thing with the fob watch, and his memories have been implanted in it. So he's able to take that and put it in one of the clone bodies of his ancestors, and hopefully, ideally, try to preserve the peace and all this stuff. But that doesn't work, which is when we get to the 12th Doctor, and then he had to tell the myth and hope for the best that they'll maintain peace this time. So I don't know, that was just a fun little time-jumpy, time-travel story. I thought that was pretty clever, and it's about the most unique race in the universe because they're all clones. I don't know, I thought that was kind of neat. Fun little sci-fi thing. Hop in, time travel, all that jazz. That was enjoyable. The art, by far the worst thing. Like, the 9th Doctor's art looks just hideous. The 10th Doctor's way too simplistic. That doesn't even look like David Tennant. Like, I guess he's supposed to have the overcoat on, but it's like, it's so flatly colored that it doesn't look like that. Because he only wore the trench coat when he was wearing the blue suit, if I remember correctly, and then they got him like in the brown and stuff, and it's not even got the pinstripes on it. Oh, I saw a Doctor Who cosplayer doing the 10th Doctor at my comic shop when I went to pick it up. That was kind of neat. One sec, I'll go get my phone and show it to the camera because that'll look good. No, I'll figure something out. It's gonna take a minute. Oh, this is like the most professional, well thought out stream you could possibly imagine. Can you tell I didn't just decide to do this on a whim randomly, that I totally planned this out hours and hours ahead of time? So you're gonna have to give me a minute because I didn't take a picture of the Doctor Who cosplayer, but I did take another picture. It's just gonna take a while to do my thing here. Oh man, this is some quality YouTubing right here. Some just high quality right at the top, tippy top of professionalism and integrity. While I'm waiting on my phone, which is slow as fuck. So like this, it's a pretty good issue. I was pretty happy with this. I wish the main book had been consistently well told like this, and unfortunately that's just not the case. All right, I need to send an email to myself. Come on. Send it off. Oh, send it off in a letter to yourself. See what I did there? Because like it's a song. I know I'm ridiculous. I'm redonkulous, ridiculous. Google, How do I get to Google from here? I have to get my keyboard out. Come on. I'm used to using keyboard shortcuts. I don't like having to use only the mouse. Come on. No, the email sent. Oh, come on, thing. Don't be like this. Fucking professionalism and technology just go together perfectly, y'all. Perfectly. Oh, I'm so impressed with myself. So fucking impressed with myself. Okay, I'll check on it later. If I don't get the email, I'll just show my phone to the camera because that's what professionalism looks like it. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue on now and talk about Rick and Morty. Yeah, Rick and Morty had a free comic book day special. This one's pretty good too. It was well structured and everything as far as, you know, selling a Rick and Morty comic on free comic day. I haven't been reading the main Rick and Morty book, so I don't know if this is just a reprint, but if it is, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm perfectly comfortable with them not releasing original stories on free comic day. I just want them to release self-contained, well-told stories on free comic day. That's something that always bugs the shit out of me, because a lot of places frankly don't do that. So this is just a story about Rick and Morty trying to get rich off of the intergalactic stock market. There's a guy who's like a time cop, I guess, the time police. He makes puns related to time, and Rick hates him for it. You know, it's got pretty consistently. It's consistent with the tone of Rick and Morty, with that just hollow, shallow, kind of rude, crude humor. That really works for it. Man, gotta see if I can find something like significant. It's weird how it ends, because it doesn't really end like a Rick and Morty story. At least not like one of the episodes. Usually works out kind of okay for Rick by the end, unless it's like a season finale or whatever. This one, they get arrested, and then it's like a page of news, alien news, and then the TV goes blank. And then there's like another story, but that gives you a to be continued. So I was a little disappointed about that, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff in here that really, really worked for me and made me laugh. Like Jerry opens the front door and something jumps out and scares him, and he just collapses on the ground and goes, "Please God, no, the children are upstairs, the valuables are in the office safe, code 7436, please God, just let me live." Like, the second he thinks someone's breaking into his home, he sells out his children and lets them know where the valuables are and how to get them, yada yada. And then Rick sees it all and he goes, "The children are upstairs? Christ, Jerry. Normally I'd make fun of you, what a coward you are, but man, living as you is punishment enough." That was dark, man. Real dark. That is pretty fucked up, though. Just immediately sells out his children. That was probably the best laugh I got in the show. Art style wise, I need a closer look at one of them. They're doing an okay job of capturing it. Like the art, the animation style in Rick and Morty is particularly cheap, and intentionally so. And like they don't even have properly rounded pupils. They just have like these little kind of asterisk star signs. Oh, there's on the front cover. They just have like these kind of asterisks looking things in their eyes. And so I was glad to see that captured in the comic. I wasn't sure if this would try to be more highly detailed, since it's a comic, you can get away with it. But at the same time, there's some pretty good, you know, looking art in here, on par with the quality of some of the crazier stuff we'd see in the show. So that was cool. The backup story didn't really do anything for me because it was only a couple pages and ended on a cliffhanger. ultimately, I don't think I'll be picking the book up, not necessarily because this wasn't a very strong issue or anything, but just because I don't have a ton of interest in reading Rick and Morty in comics. Part of what works for me is just the voice acting. I don't like one thing about the voice acting for Rick and Morty, and that's just Rick's constant burping. Not because it's like disgusting or whatever. It steps on the dialogue, and I like how the dialogue works in that show. It's really snappy. So that's like a reason I'm not going to be picking it up. Another reason is I'm just not that big a fan of the show. There's some color changes. If you look at this page, Rick's darker on one page than he is on the other. That's a little weird. Yeah. Just an okay issue. It was fun. Glad I picked it up, you know, that kind of thing. Oops. Okay, so get ready for something weird. I don't know what made me pick this up because I knew it'd be a pain for me to read, but I did it anyway. Man, fucking manga. Oh my god. My eyes just bleeding trying to read this. I only read half of this because I care about Dragon Ball. I give no fucks about Naruto. Or Boruto. Sounds like someone can't say burrito. So, like, for those wondering, it is printed backwards. And God, just that first page is like really confusing to me because it opens up and yeah, you got to read it left to right, and that's just not something I'm used to at all. Like, I caught on with it somewhat quickly, but just the whole nature of trying to read like that bugged me, and things just don't flow for me because I'm trained differently. So like some of the dynamic nature of the art really lost its working on me. But this is just a reprint of like the first couple pages, I guess, of Dragon Ball Super Volume 1, where Beerus wakes up and like we're giving no context for the wake up. I can't imagine that this is how the actual manga begins, but we're giving absolutely no context for the wake up. And so like Beerus wakes up and wants to know about the Super Saiyan God, all that stuff. I've watched Battle of Gods. And then he just goes to King Kai's planet. I'm gonna call him King Kai. I don't give a fuck. I'll fight you on this. He goes to King Kai's planet, and he and Goku fight, and he just completely trashes Goku. No effort whatsoever. I love that about that. But that was one of the best moments of that fight. Is you get Goku sitting there, and he's like, "Just come on, fight back a little. At this rate, I won't know how powerful you actually are." Fine. Flick. Knocks Goku's ass fucking across King Kai's planet. God, that was cool. I did like that. That was fun. I feel like I'm going the wrong way again. No, I'm good. And then it ends with Beerus and Whis going to Earth. So exciting. I'm still watching through Dragon Ball Z, which is why I haven't watched any of Dragon Ball Super yet. But I did watch Battle of Gods, and you know, I enjoyed that movie plenty. This was fun to read. I still don't understand why manga can't be colored. You just look at that, and it's gorgeous. I'll never understand that. Like, why wouldn't you? It just naturally looks better to color it. Black and white comics are such a mind-boggling thing for me. You know, when it's called for, it's fine, but to me, a lot of black and white comics, like, you just can clearly tell they didn't think about that, and this they did. They are aware what they're doing with black and white comics here. But just a lot of things don't look as good when you don't actively, color them, and that bothers me all the time. Meh. Maybe I should get out my markers and I got some. Is everyone ready to see Ian ruin a fucking comic? Let's do this. I got orange, I got black. Come on, let's do this shit. Let's go. Let's get it. There's yellow. What blue should I use, everybody? What is the proper blue for Goku's like his shirt? I don't know if I'll be able to color that because it's like kind of dark. And then I got purple for Beerus. Red, why not get that out just for shits and grins? Okay, give me a sec. I gotta get something under this so I don't ruin my desk. Because I give no fucks about this comic. Okay, there's a cool panel of Goku. So let's work on it. We're gonna be coloring this panel of Goku, and what's a good panel of Beerus? Oh, we'll color this panel because I like this. This has both of them in it. That looks like fun. So we'll color that panel right there. Oh, I need skin. I need color for his skin. Goku is not black or orange or yellow. I don't have any skin tone permanent markers. And I think Haley's colored pencils are in the other room. What am I gonna do for skin? The things I come up with on this show. Y'all, I'm angering the comic book gods right now, but this just feels appropriate. Give me a minute, I'm gonna go grab colored pencils because I'm an adult and I'm adulting right now. That's gonna fall on my head. Shit is going down, y'all. Oh, there's more colored pencils. I didn't even need to get that down. Okay. What do you think? Should I use markers or should I use colored pencils? I got some skin tone there, but it's not sharpened. Let's see here. Oh, good. It's double-sided. Perfect. We'll do this. This will be a thing that happens now. This is happening. This is real. I don't have a place to put my colored pencils down at. All right. So let's start with Goku's skin, since that's going to be the most precise one. Oh, I should say I'm not like particularly good at coloring or anything like that. It's just, hey, I'm here. I'll use the light blue for his eyes because his eyes are supposed to be like lighter. What's good is I don't have to be too precise with the colored pencil on the skin because, I'm going to be using markers to color over like the eyebrows and certain parts of the face and other things that it's intersecting. Everyone's talking about Guardians in the comments. I'm gonna go see it tonight. I bought tickets. It was funny when I went to the shop to get my comics. One of the guys that works there, knows me, was standing outside, and he saw me walking away from the shop, and he goes, "Ian, you're going the wrong way." I'm like, "No, I'm coming back. I'm coming back." He's like, "All right." So I went and buy tickets because there's a movie theater right down the street. It's like an outdoor mall. I bought tickets, and when I went across the line to buy tickets, like there was no one in line. There was just the freaking standees or whatever you call them. So I decided, okay, well, I'll just, duck under this. And as I'm ducking under it, people from across the street are yelling, "Hey! Hey!" I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, are you mad about me cutting before you get in line or something? And I stop and look at them, and they go, "Oh, not you." I'm like, well, shit, I'm just getting fucking yelled at every other second right now. God damn. Oh, anyway, we had a fun time recording Geeky Gentleman last night. I forgot to mention it last week on comic reviews, but we did a topic suggestion, so you don't know what topic we did yet. But it was one of the comments left on the video from last week, the Hate Breed review. So that was fun. All right, there's Goku's skin colored in. Doesn't that just naturally look better? Oh, hey Philip, we're talking free comics, and I decided to color Goku because I don't like the fact that manga isn't colored. All right, so now we got color in his clothes with some orange marker here. Oh, manga are secretly coloring books. There we go. The world never knew. I'm sure someone's gonna leave a fucking comment on this video and be like, holy shit, you're a fucking monster. How dare you color in a manga. It looks a little more red than orange, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll manage. Ooh, that's a nice even dispersal. I don't think you're supposed to color with Sharpies, but I'm doing it. I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel. Oh, anyway. Yeah, we had a fun time recording last night for Geeky Gentleman, but unfortunately there were a lot of technical difficulties, so the episode still came together. I was still able to get it up and everything, but unfortunately y'all are gonna have to deal with some very really awkward audio transitions as far as Steve is concerned, because he's gonna be really fucking hard to hear at one point because his Skype decided to conk out on him, and so he we were able to get him back in the call, but through his cell phone, which, you know, obviously not ideal way of doing things. I know they like released at one point in time Dragon Ball in full color. Like they went through the entire manga run and redid it in color. And I just don't understand why that's not a thing in manga. It just, comics look better in color. There's some things where, like, sure, you can do black and white. Like, I know they released what was it? Oh, with the guys, Tim Sale, Jeff Loeb. Long Halloween. They released Long Halloween in black and white. I know they did like Batman black and white because they wanted to capture like a kind of a noir feel. Goku's pants. And I'm sure, yeah, there's like production costs, but at the same time, like, okay, it just looks better. Just some studios doing less of it, sure, but Dragon Ball is a fucking big deal. Why wouldn't it be in color? You know, like, could you imagine if you had to read all of Tom King's Batman in black and white for some odd reason? It'd be awful. I would not want to do that. I've gotten better at coloring in my old age. I never used to be this good. Maybe I should call up DC and be like, hey, need a colorist? Here's this Dragon Ball manga that I colored one panel for. Don't you think it looks good? Oh no, I went outside the line. The whole thing's ruined now. Maybe this will be my project. No, this will definitely not be my project because I'm using fucking markers, and this is what happens when you color with markers on double-sided paper. Maybe this could be someday. I'll get a copy of this digitally, and I'll like print it out page by page and panel by panel maybe, and sit there and color the whole thing. I bled some into his hair. Damn. Precise work's needed here, guys. Precise. Good. Damn, I really wanted the hair to be perfect. Ah, well. Win some, lose some. All right, before I go on to the hair. Oh, so that's supposed to be, yeah, that's his neck. I gotta color that in with the pencil. There's his key so far. That's what they call it, right? EL Convoy, they usually keep manga in black and white to keep the cost down when they're released in magazine format, and the artist can crank out more pages per week. Yeah, sure, fine, but again, it's Dragon Ball. It's like really, really popular, and they know it's going to sell. It feels like they could put more time and effort into it. Oh, I forgot to color Goku's ear. Like, I understand that there are the economic reasons, but just when you release it in collection or whatever, why isn't it colored then? I guess it's just because they're spoiled and they get animation of it right away, not just obviously anime, but like they get their stories animated, you know, within weeks of it being released in the comics. So that might be just the consideration as well. You get the color when you get it animated, which is kind of the treat anyway. So I guess I see where that's coming from, but at the same time, I'm like, come on with that noise. I'd like to see a geeky gentleman on coloring books. I mean, that could be a thing, right? We could do that. That'd be. Oh wait, I missed more of his thing. It's hard to tell, like, what's what. You gotta respect the colorists. They don't ever get quite as much credit as they deserve. Let's go for his eyes real quick. That's really, really subtle. There we go. Perfect. Did it perfectly. Let's try his shirt. It's gonna look a little bluer, but not as blue as I'd hoped. Do I have whiteout? I could white out the black parts and try to make them blue. That could be a thing. Yeah, it just looks more black. Yeah, you can't tell. Do I have whiteout? Can I do this? I have glue. I have tape. I have crazy glue. I have paper. I don't know if I have whiteout, y'all. I have a laser pointer that doesn't have batteries. Nope, no whiteout. So I can't do the shirt because it's just gonna look, you know, black. Yeah, even using the other marker on it still looks black. Boots too. You can do the lines on them. Those are yellow. All right. Pièce de résistance. Goku's hair. Ooh. Super Saiyan hair is one of my many loves. Watch through Dragon Ball Z again is so much fun. It's such a good show. I'm up to just at the beginning of the Buu saga now. I gotta say, y'all, the tournaments are by far the best sections of that series. Easily the most watchable things. Too much fun to watch that stuff. Okay, there we go. Ta-da. I mean, I suppose I could color the whole manga book in colored pencil, but it doesn't look as good as markers. Markers are sexy, y'all. I did not know this. Markers look good. Holy shit. And I'm doing, like, I'm sure a shit job. I'm sure, like, if a colorist watched this, you'd be like, oh, you're fucking up right here. You're doing too many short strokes, blah, blah, blah. But I like it. So. Rando Brando is like, this is oddly relaxing. I'm like, you know, maybe I should start up like ASMR coloring where I'm just gonna put like the microphone like right here. Do you feel orgasm yet? uh, I don't know, y'all. I'm having fun. I'm hoping you're enjoying watching this. I was gonna just like do his hair or something, but everyone was like, "Oh, go for it!" And I only got one more book to talk about, but I got some other stuff to talk about too. Um, Excited going to dinner with some of the people from our wedding party tonight, and then we're gonna go see Guardians afterward. Going to this great restaurant in town called Toscano's. They're really expensive, but they're so good. It's like a buffet style. It's called a Brazilian buffet. And oh my word, you guys, I haven't eaten all day in anticipation for it. I'm gonna get my money's worth, y'all. Damn, I'm really pissed off about that little speck of orange that I can't do anything about now. But there's Goku. Super Saiyan hair and all. No, Dr. Holocron won't be on the Guardian spoiler cast, at least not as far as I know. Oh. All right, let's see here. I know Beerus is purple, but like I forget the color for his neck thing. And I need my keyboard again. I'm not supposed to need my keyboard. Wireless keyboard. Is okay, so his neck thing's like black and blue and little orange diamond. That's useful. Thank you. I'll just keep that page over here in a little window. Forgive me while I fix this up. Can't I? Thank you. All right, comic reviews. Open this window. Open this window. There we go. I don't need to see myself so much as I need to see Beerus. Thanks, Joel. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, just for markers and colored pencils, it's not half bad. All right, so Beerus has yellow eyes. Let's start with those. Oh, that would be a blue marker. Let's start with the yellow eyes. The little ring in his ear is yellow. Okay. And then the colors also yellow. Beerus is a cool design. I really like him. Again, I've only seen Battle of Gods. I haven't seen even Resurrection F from DB Super yet, or the movie. You know what I mean. I've still only seen Battle of Gods, but man, that was a good ass movie. I loved that. Beerus was such a cool idea for a character. He's such not a Dragon Ball Z villain. He's just a chill motherfucker, and that was really fun and unique to see in that show. Okay, that's left white, and these are blue. What do you think, y'all? I'm gonna go with the lighter blue, I think. Oh, la 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 la. Comic reviews and coloring time with Ian. Ooh, that does not look good. Disappointed by that. Let's try with the darker blue. I think it'll just look better. Oh yeah. There it is. That's good. Blends in a little too much with the black, but the light blue is not looking good. I think my marker got ruined by something or whatever. La da da. La da 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 da. People in the live comments are cracking me up. See, this is why you got to come live. You can encourage me to do shit like this. I never, ever would have done this if I'd been pre-recording. I considered pre-recording this episode too, but figure since I do comic reviews live now, I should do comic reviews live. I don't know. This is fun. I've definitely seen worse things on YouTube. Oh man. Okay, and then yeah, this little pendant in the middle is orange. La da da. Okay, cool. And now my purple. A purple for the man, Beerus. The man, the myth, the legend. It's interesting looking at this, how they shade him with like the, what do you call it, pointism or whatever, where it's all the dots. This may be too hard a purple for him, but that's okay. Oh, that's missed some yellow down there. Like, it's weird. I'm noticing more of the detail in the art by coloring it, and that's just kind of naturally what color is supposed to do. Is it's supposed to just bring out the details a lot more, and it draws your eye in, and it looks better than shading. You know, I'm getting a little over the inking here, definitely. The inking and the you know, anatomy lines a little bit, but that's just because I'm using too dark a purple. And damn, I went over the collar. Ooh, that's a thin line. That's gonna be a hard one. Ta-da. The master. Oh my. Yeah, saw people in the comments saying stuff about the Dark Knight Returns 2. And the thing about that book is that was done digitally. That was the one of the first like fully digital colored comics. And you can tell. But yeah, it's more experimental than anything. It's about the only credit it has going for it. Oh, Jacob's here. Jacob, we are coloring manga. And he's like, ew, Sharpies. Oh, Jacob, how's it going, man? Oh, coloring away. Yeah, we were talking comics and this manga that I picked up for Free Comic Day. I say this as more people are coming in. We're talking comics and all that jazz, and so I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should color this because I don't like the fact that manga isn't colored. And yeah, this Sharpie's way too dark for him, but I'm already committed to it. He looks way too dark. I'm losing a lot of the detail. You're going to be able to see it, but you're going to have to squint. I don't know how you all are going to do, but, you know, good luck with that. As I show it to a camera instead of you getting to see it with your eyes. It's a lot of work for one panel, guys. You're coloring directly on the pages? Savage! Oh. Ian, do a Bob Ross episode where you color a coloring book and talk like Bob Ross. All right, so what you want to do is paint a pretty little tree, happy little bush right there in the corner, and then we're gonna put some twigs in that bush because I like that. It makes me feel all special. And it's just gonna be a happy little cloud. But don't you tell anyone about that cloud. It's our little secret, okay? There you go. There's my Bob Ross. How'd you like that? Yeah, I knew someone would fucking come on here and be like, "You're coloring in the book? What the fuck is wrong with you?" The worst part is I'm using Sharpies. And so like it's really carrying through. We should send this video to CGC and tell them to go fuck themselves. I don't know who CGC is. I'm assuming the studio that does DB Super. But, you know, why not? Oh, man. So, yeah, Beerus' purple self. Yeah, it is just way too dark a purple for him. It's losing a lot of the detail. It doesn't help that he's already shaded, obviously. Oh, my. No, but, yeah, if you didn't know, manga are secretly coloring books. Just filling out Beerus' face, drawing around the eye, so I don't fuck up my coloring there. All right. Yeah, he looks especially evil when you color him with that dark Sharpie. Okay. So, after much work, let's close the tabs. I want to see it too. There's my panel of DB Super Colored. Goku obviously looks a lot better because there's just a lot more white to work with, and I have better colors to work with him. I should have. I probably should have, gone through the effort and used colored pencils on Beerus instead of marker. There's another good panel of him. Hold on. This will just naturally look better as a comparison. How's this purple? Let's get that off to the side. Jacob, you're my art guy. Does that purple down in the corner look like it'll be a better shade? I'm thinking so. Holding it up, waiting to see a comment. There's a delay, and then there's just the time that it takes to respond naturally. So this always takes a long ass time and always feels awkward. But yeah, Jacob's with me. That's a better purple. Okay, let's just really quickly, just gonna do his skin. Problem with doing it with colored pencil, I don't have coloring markers. The problem with doing it with colored pencil is I'm losing a lot of the effect of the color because of the natural way they print it with the shading and stuff. Screw it, I'm gonna cover over the word bubble. Yeah, that would have looked still better though. I'm hiding too much of the detail with how dark that purple is. But just to give you an idea, I figured I'd color his ear in. Yay, coloring! Oh man, this has got to be one of the silliest things I've ever done on YouTube. And I once wore a dress for a video. Just saying. It happened, y'all. Red Leader wants me to cosplay as one of the bombshells, and I told him the same thing I'll tell y'all. I'm willing to do it if you guys provide me the costume. And I don't want no, little punk ass. Yeah, I'm just coloring over the word balloons. Fuck it. I don't want no punk ass. Just send me a hat or something. No, give me like the full, baseball skirt. I want to do Batwoman, Kate Kane, bombshells, but it's got to be good quality costume. It's got to be a respectable cosplay, and I'll do it. And if you get it to me soon enough, I won't even shave the beard. Jacob says, when you work with markers, you really need marker paper, otherwise it bleeds or looks too saturated. I'm definitely seeing like a lot of that. It's definitely not perfect, but obviously I didn't plan this, nor have I colored anything even remotely professionally. I just wanted to give it a shot. But, oh man, he looks so much better with this colored pencil than he does with the marker. All right, here, that looks a lot better. Like he's a little too shaded there. I'd need to push harder and blend that a bit better, but man, that looks so much better. But yeah, I don't know, I had fun doing that. I hope you had fun watching. I haven't colored anything since I was a child, so I don't know. I enjoyed it. I hope you did. Stay open. I don't want you to color in the other pages. The things Ian will do for videos, it's not hard. Most YouTubers, if you press them, will do a bunch of stupid shit because it's just that personality type that attracts us. Put that away. Okay. Last book to talk about, and I wasn't super excited to talk about this. This I picked up just on a whim, just because I actually like Avatar, unlike most people. This I just picked up on a whim for the fun of it. And the first story made sense enough Again, it's more of a promotional thing than a actual comic. It just ends on this cliffhanger of one of the pterodactyls attacking a helicopter. And then it gets into this weird Briggsland story. I don't know what the hell this is about. And this is certainly not what you give someone who's trying to get into a comic. There's no context for this, and it's not like incredibly fascinating just on its own. It's just like they just took the first couple pages of a comic and then, you know, gave it to you. That was weird, so I'm not even gonna bother talking about that. But the Avatar book, this, like, it seemed like it was gonna be it seemed like it was gonna be more of a, you know, introductory or independent thing, and it's got a little bit of that, but it's just the way it ends kind of doesn't really say all that much. But it's Jake Sully sitting there talking about the stories he read as a child, one about Alexander the Great taming his horse, and the other about the Greek hero Bellerophon, who's famous for trying to ride Pegasus into Olympus, and he got smited because of it. And so it's just him talking, like narrating about this stuff, while you see this really gorgeous art that captures the mood of Avatar, presenting all these things happening, and that's kind of interesting. So it's just him flying, capturing the bigger pterodactyl, and then attacking a gunship with it. That's seriously all this is about. I was like kind of interested to see where it was going, especially since the tense changes at one point, but then it just ends right here. So yeah, disappointing. Kind of a sour note. I know it's no Ian coloring, but yeah, I don't know. It's apparently they're publishing Avatar comics soon. Watch for more adventures from Pandora coming soon. I'm not going to pick up an Avatar book unless you guys ask me to. I don't have any interest in it in that way. I'm sure the art will be gorgeous. It'd be interesting. Okay, I'll put a caveat to that. I will not pick up an Avatar book unless it's rendered in 3D. If they did the art for the Avatar book in 3D using like the same character models and stuff, that could be fascinating. That could be really cool and very, very enjoyable. Traditional art, though, again, I'm not like, I like Avatar, but I'm not here to defend its story. I think it's got, you know, pretty by the numbers story. What makes Avatar interesting to me is the visuals with the technology and the way it pushed itself. I don't really need that. If it's not going to do something unique visually with comics besides just be good art for comics, I don't have much interest in reading Avatar. Robo Brando says about 8 years too late for Avatar comics. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I might have picked up just a standard comic 8 years ago, but no way now. There's no point. Again, the only caveat I'd put to that is if they render it in 3D, which I know they're not going to do. So, okay. So, as I said at the beginning of this, it's Free Comic Book Day. So, of course, I spent money. You know, as you do. I spent money on figures which like weren't even on sale, but I was at the store and I saw them and they were cool. So I had to buy some figures. And normally I'm not much of a figure collector. I haven't taken these like all the way out of the package, but let's go ahead and show them off. I got myself a Kate Kane Batwoman from Bombshells. I am so excited about this. I saw these figures released online forever ago. I do not have the money for statues, but I saw these figures released online forever ago, and I was like, oh, I can't wait till those are in stores. And then I just happened to notice Bombshell's Wonder Woman on the shelf, and so I went and looked, and sure enough, found myself a Kate Kane. She comes with like switchable hands. I think what I'll do is switch to one of the hands with the bat, one of the hands with the glove, put the baseball in it, and see if I can do the pose or something similar to the pose she had on that initial variant cover. So yeah, that's just cool. Ah, I'm so happy about that one. That was really neat. And I was like, okay, only a couple bucks. You know, I got it $26. That's pretty good for figure prices. New in store kind of thing. I figured, okay, that's certainly enough money to spend today. But then I went to one of the other comic book stores in town. I initially had no interest in going to one of the other comic book stores in town. I thought it'd be fine, but I needed to go across town, and it was there, and yeah, you know, shit happens. And then I was looking around, and I didn't have any more comics I wanted to get. I was looking around, and I saw this. Okay, I'm losing my batarangs and my everything. Everything fell out in an instant. Thank you for proving the point. So now I get to show this off. I get to show this off one by one. Okay, so the one thing that didn't fall out is I now have Jay Garrick's helmet in like a display case, which is pretty neat. I was kind of like, okay, that's pretty legit. Not the reason I bought it, but that was pretty legit. I also have Chip. He was the reason I bought, like the primary reason I bought this was for Chip. He is not posable in any way. This is the pose you get with him. Jacob Carlson's like, need. He really wants this. Yeah, it's pretty legit, man. It's pretty cool. Just a tiny little thing. But yeah, we got Chip the Green Lantern. He's the Squirrel Green Lantern. I really would prefer a version of him without the bow tie and stuff. But it's cool. I love the wacky Green Lanterns, the really weird fun ones, and they're the ones that get drawn the most too, which is always neat. So got a Chip figure, and then there was some other stuff that got kind of spoiled for you. I'm not sure. Hold on, there was like instructions. Because I'm an adult, I color and play with toys. Okay, let's see here. It implies that you can... Oh! Well, let me try grabbing a John Stewart toy and seeing if this works, as the thing implies. I don't have this John Stewart, but we'll see. John, well, John's preoccupied with the lantern. Let's try Hal. Got this Hal Jordan for like 25 cents. That was pretty cool. Okay, so like, thing tells me that I could either take the shield, which pops off. That's kind of neat. So I got a Green Lantern emblem shield and little like joint thing here. And apparently I can fit it over his arm somehow. Maybe. If I keep trying, this will happen eventually. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty neat. I like that. That's fun. I'll add that to one of my figures. That's kind of cool. You know, let me go get something else because I see something else coming up here that I'll talk about. Oh, the joy, the joy, the joy. The things I do for shits and grins. I have a Batman? I don't think I have any just standard Batman action figures, y'all. I got like special ones, but I don't think I have just like a standard Batman. I should do something about that. All right, so we'll put him over to the side. I don't know if you saw him or not. But yeah, you got a cool little shield. I got a cool little shield that I can attach to my Green Lanterns. I'll probably put that on something else, but that's neat nonetheless. And then it says I can do like this with it. I don't understand. Oh, okay, now I figured it out. Okay. So like the shield can attach to this energy blast here somehow or another. These pegs are ridiculously tiny. There we go. And it fits on the fist, not quite. This HAL just isn't made for this, but if I had a DC Icons John Stewart, I could put this on his fist like so. So that's kind of neat. Prefer just keeping the shield. And I'll figure out something to do with the energy blast. Not sure what, but something. I got plenty of Green Lantern figures. I'm sure one of them will make it work. I got a Batman Green Lantern. I got a Batman Sinestro. But I don't have Batman. I should really do something about that. So, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I also have Green Arrows. This part I could have done without. I'm not a Green Arrow fan. I'll probably do like a giveaway or something with these at some point in time. Because I'm not a Green Arrow fan. It's not my thing. So I'll think of something to do with these, or I'll just, hide them away. Got like the bomb arrow, and then like the standard point, and then the curved hook, and then like a gadgety looking one. So that's neat. Wait for it. Some batarangs, which is cool. Not bad, not bad. This one I'm kind of excited about. I might just need to get a Batman specifically for this. Suction cup, grappling gun. That's really fun. Like, it's almost a little disappointing that this might not work with other, Batman toys that aren't part of this DC Legends continuity. Let me see here. Come here, Hal. You got an open looking hand. Let's see. Can you fit the grappling gun in your hand? Oh, that'll work. Okay. So if I can find a Batman that this fits in Hal's hand, I'm sure it'll fit in plenty of Batman hands. Or maybe I can use it for Kate. So if you can just find like a figure that this will hold on to or whatever, you should be good. But that's neat. I like that. That's cool. Just a fun little thing. This is great for kids because you can suction cup these and actually have a Batman that goes places. That's really fun. Look at that grappling gun. That's neat. And then the pièce de résistance. This is an old Joker figure I have. Kind of a statue, not really. See if I can get these guys to land in his hand right. Laughing fish. I got two of them. Focus. Focus. So yeah, laughing fish in the Joker's hand. I'll move slowly. Damn. I'll move this closer to the camera and put the laughing fish back up there. I would like to have it. He's got some other hands. I know I can get something, but I would like to have it facing you. There we go. And again. Focus. Focus. Damn it thing. Focus. Not on me. Anyway. Yes, I got two laughing fish. That was, honestly, Chip was the big selling point for me. Just to get it for Chip was the big selling point for me. The shield and the energy, that was cool too. the thing that put me over the edge and definitely made me want to get this was definitely the Laughing Fish. So, spent way too much money today on Free Comic Day, as you do. These don't stay in this Joker's hands very well. That's okay. I got some other stuff I can do with them. I got Heath Ledger's Joker back there somewhere. Yeah, he's kind of hiding out behind General Grievous. Beats my fan fiction. The Joker was hiding behind General Grievous. But yeah, Laughing Fish. Pretty good day. Pretty happy. I'm gonna go eat some good ass food tonight. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this episode of Comic Reviews. I gotta clean all this shit up and just have a good time. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.